So you got QQQs, gap up. We're still flagging on the market. It looks like this gap will kind of take us out of that flag, which is good. Next stop, the 200-day moving average. That's all you can ask for in the market, right? You want to see that heat. You want to see that strength. And like yesterday, the markets were flat, but there were stocks running around everywhere, right? Like that's what we want to see in the market. We want to see spec money flowing in. You want to see high beta stocks flowing in. You want to see the clean moves that you saw like in, right, SQ and Roku, right? These are tech names. They're high beta. This is what you want to see. You want to see these type of names really pop, and you want to see them also not just pop and drop, but give like multiple entries throughout the day. You know, like Roku gave one setup here, right? Then a second setup on the pullback, third setup, a flat top breakout, a VWAP test, a flag break. So you had like 6 setups in the stock, right? That's what you want to be doing. That's where you want to see a stock go. Can it not just give you one pump, right? But can it flow and wave throughout the day and give you multiple things? We still got on watch today. Obviously, it's just starting to break its flag. You know, I think this thing gets up to 46, 47 pretty quickly. SQ looking for a day 2 potential. One pump can be good if you're tired of it. SQ, I'm looking at this for a day 2 also. Labu's already starting to break. You can start to see this thing push over. Once it gets back over its 9, it should get back towards the 50s. We got Chinese stocks on watch. IQ, Huya, Momo, Bazoon, BUZN. All of them will look similar. You know, I just keep them all on the list for the most part, but they're all gonna, you know, they're all getting a little bottoming action. Momo's also looking pretty good. You got a flag pattern over here, right over the 9 EMA. It's got good liquidity and stuff, so you can definitely keep them. IQ, Huya on the watch list. This Huya is flagging also. Excess, we're still watching for this break over this flat top breakout. It'll come when we're not looking, so you just got to keep it on your list and keep watching it. At some point, it's going to start cooking. CLVS looks good today, right? You got that initial push, and then you're flagging over this 9 EMA. You're starting to creep out, right, and test that trend line. This one's got range on it. If it starts to go, and then that 25 breaks, you got a nice kind of zone of suction over here, right, that it can get to before it really runs into any resistance. I mean, you don't have any resistance for potential $10 higher. So you got that suction zone coming in. If it can break, you may see this one start to go. I mean, frankly, it could turn into a swing trade just because you have very little resistance on top. CGC's been stuck at this 45 spot for the last 2 days. I mean, it's been on the hourly, just kind of testing it. It looked like even a couple times yesterday it wanted to go, just wouldn't go, but some broker, some asshole took it out of the range by doing some upgrades this morning. I hate when they do that. So, this thing already popped $3, but it's coming back. We'll need this thing to pull back before we can enter it. We'll be watching it on the 9 EMA pullback or something like that. This thing has kind of like a $4 range. Man, it's already used up, $3 of that. So I am a little bit mindful, about where the location is. That's why I won't chase this thing up on an ORB at 47, 48. I'll need this thing to pull back to that 9 EMA, give me a little bit more reward. Frankly, CGC in general trades way better when you buy dips towards the VWAP and pullbacks on it than when you try to kind of hit a little flag pattern and stuff like that. Almost my best trades on CGC have been on those kind of deeper pullbacks. This BBY, I'm still eyeballing it for potential swing. It's a retail stock, so I won't even try to day trade this thing. But this thing's tight. Look at that thing. That's looking nice, right? Now on the earnings side, you got WDC looks okay. Not ideal. The best earnings plays are always going to be breakouts to all-time highs, right? Anybody trade XLNX yesterday, right? You can push on something like this because it's a breakout to all-time highs, right? When you break out to all-time highs, you don't have any resistance or levels of supply overhead, so they move cleaner. You know, when you have something like this, yes, it has room to go. You don't have any resistance till 50. Then you have a gap fill at 52. So you have like, you know, you do have spots it can run to, but it's just different, right? Because you do have still supply overhead, and so they can run into that and go. Starbucks is, you know, Starbucks looks like it might have a little bit of juice today. You know, it's not such a big gap. But I mean, its highs is like 68. I believe that's its all-time high. So, you know, the gap could take it out of this range. So if you look on the weekly chart, right, it's just in a big flag. So it's right in that sweet spot. So I'd keep it on the list. Probably my fave for today, at least on the short side, the only one I found that was a short worthy of even talking about was this RMD, which is breaking under a couple levels of support here. And it looks like it's got room to fall. The SSR's on it, so we'll have to be careful. Like yesterday, you know, we tried to short that. What was that stock? MCK. And, man, that thing was, you know, with the SSR on it, just like dip a little bit and then squeeze, dip a little bit and then squeeze. You know, it was getting tricky to trade. So, number one on this one, I'll need to watch the liquidity. Number two, that with the SSR on, the entry just has to be picture perfect. The one thing with the SSR is every blue moon, the bottom will just drop off. Like at some point, even with the SSR on, they'll just let it hang, and then the bottom just drops out. So, you know, we'll still be looking for good entry. It's got sick range on it. You know, we'll watch this thing and see if it kind of pulls back. And I got kind of its pre-market levels and stuff. So I won't be afraid to take the ORB on this thing, but I am mindful of it with the SSR. You know, I have to be really careful with my entry. So that's the watch list for today. Anybody got any tickers they want to chat about? CLRO. Ooh. Yeah, you can keep this on your list. That looks pretty good. Not my cup of tea. I abstain from small caps during Lent and on Fridays. There's no better way to ruin your weekend to get the bottom dusted out on some $1 stock. But Monday to Thursday, I'm okay with it. AMD, good. Yeah, you can keep this on your list, Danny. What else? Hey, Sean, how you doing? You know, I'm not messing with the PCG. There's no point of really trading it. If you want to short this thing and be, you know, potentially stuck in a halt, you know, imagine like you're just playing like the bleed on this thing, thinking it's going to 0 and then it gets halted, and next thing you know, it's at 14. Like, how do you trade around that? So, you know, for me, this is just, I'm not even watching it today. Hey, Sal, how come you always come in and ask about the tickers that we just talked about? I noticed that you've done that 3 days in a row. But yeah, you can put it on your list. Hey, Mike, what's up, buddy? Yeah, MU looks decent. MU looks decent. MU and Intel trade thick. Yeah, so this one's kind of dropping a little bit here. It's just going to trade thick. If you don't mind thick, you can do it. If you don't mind thick, you can do it. For sure. Good. All right, let's get to work. Let's go do what we got to do. Hey, Bruce, how you doing, buddy? Tammy, how you doing? Hey, Saul, when you go to a Rolling Stones concert, do you take bathroom breaks? No. Now, this Netflix, if it gets over this 200 SMA, that's when I'd get interested in it. you know, it's getting there. The pullback on it was really light, so I definitely, you know, keep that on your watch list too. Good. All right, guys, you know what we got to do. Friday, game time. Champions create distance on Fridays. Let's go make some money. Let's go have a little fun. I'll be in the boom boom room doing what I do.